Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Aneta here, and today we are gonna talk about position property in CSS. This is the project we are gonna work on today. It has all 5 position values. I will explain step by step how to use each position property, and I will give you some examples what it can be used for. So, if you're ready, let's get started. Position property specifies the positioning method used for an HTML element. It has one of the 5 values: static, relative, absolute, fixed, and sticky. Elements are positioned using the top, bottom, left, and right properties. Position static. All HTML elements are positioned static by default and are not affected by the top, bottom, left, and right properties. This element has position static, but we don't really need to write that code because it's not necessary. Each element normal position is static by default. Okay, let's see what the position static really looks like. I intentionally removed each position property from this project, so every element on this website has position static. We already know that position static is the default position for each HTML element, but we are gonna work on this one. This is actually h2 element and is inside of a div container. You can see that right here, and it's styled right here. We already know that we don't need that code, but let's see what happens if we write position static. Oh my god. With top 20 pixels for example, and left 100 pixels. It didn't change anything. The position static is still static and it still appears at the beginning of the container. Position relative. An element specified with relative position is placed relative to its static position. This element is specified position relative and is moved 100 pixels from the left. Let's see an example of position relative. This one, h2 element, is positioned right now static. It appears at the beginning of its container. It's inside of a div container. So let's see what we can do with that one. It's position relative. And for example, it's moved from the left like 100 pixels. So you can see that this element moved 100 pixels from the left. So it moved 100 pixels from the left of its normal position. Position absolute. An element with absolute position is placed relative to the nearest positioned ancestor, if there is any. Otherwise, it's relative to initial containing block. This element has position with absolute value. It's moved 20 pixels from the bottom and 100 pixels from the right. If we want this h2 element to be relative to its container, we need to add position property for the div container first. So let's see position relative, and then we add position absolute for the h2 element. And maybe from the bottom 30 pixels, and from the right 90 pixels. And let's see how it looks like. Yes, it's moved from the bottom of its container 30 pixels, and from the right 90 pixels. Position fixed. An element with fixed position is placed relative to the viewport and always stays in the same place, even when the page is scrolled. This example element has position with fixed value and is placed to the bottom of the viewport. Okay, let's make this h2 element fixed to the bottom and place it at the center. And that is what I'm gonna make. So first, position fixed, and bottom 0, left 50%, and transform translate x minus 50%. Let's see. Yes, that worked. Right now this h2 element is fixed to the bottom no matter what. I can scroll, it's still here. Position sticky. An element with sticky position toggles between relative and fixed depending on the scroll position. It is placed relative until a given offset position is met in the viewport. After that happens, it sticks in place. This element has position sticky and it sticks to the top of the viewport. Let's make this position sticky element stick to the top of the viewport. So define position property sticky and tab 0. Let's see. Yes. So it is fixed to the top of the viewport whenever the viewport meets the beginning of this element. We can use position sticky to make a navbar, for example. We can also use position fixed to make a navbar to always appear navbar at the top of the website. And we can also use position fixed to make, for example, a cookie banner to always appear at the bottom of the viewport. Okay, that was it for today. If you have any suggestions for the next video, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one.